Today, President Trump took the first steps in fulfilling one of his most controversial campaign promises, getting rid of the federal Department of Education. Good evening, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. CBS 8's Richard Allen is here with more on the impacts this could have on students here in San Diego, as well as whether this executive order is actually legal. Richard?
And Carlo and Marcella, while the president does not have the authority to eliminate a federal agency on his own, the order he signed today is designed to set the wheels in motion. It's an order that's generated confusion and questions about the effect this could have on our local schools.
President Trump received enthusiastic applause after signing Thursday's executive order, directing the Department of Education to create a plan to essentially close itself.
We're going to shut it down and shut it down as quickly as possible. It's doing us no good. We want to return our students to the states.
Founded in 1979 under President Jimmy Carter, the Department of Education not only distributes money to college students through grants and loans, but it also directs federal funding to K-12 public schools for programs primarily targeting low-income students, students with disabilities, and students from military families. While those federal dollars, which make up about 10% of K-12 school funding nationwide, have already been approved by Congress, this new move could reduce oversight over how those funds are used.
If there's no Department of Education, there's nobody who's holding states accountable to actually spend the money the way it's supposed to be spent.
Richard Barrera is vice president of the San Diego Unified School Board.
Nobody should panic. We should keep moving forward, with what we need to do to support our students.
Our biggest concern is there going to be a disruption in services to our students, especially knowing now there's just nobody on the other end working on this.
Kendra Britt is with the California County Superintendent. She says that while the president's executive order today is not a surprise, its long-term impacts are still unclear.
The programs that are going to get hit the hardest hurt the most vulnerable students, and that just doesn't feel right.
Already, protests locally and around the country have formed in response to these cuts.
Our district is going to be fighting back. The state government is going to be fighting back. We're going to be doing that in coalitions with districts and states across the country, and we will win.
And the administration says that services like student loans and Pell Grants will remain at the Department of Education for now, but could eventually be shifted over to another federal department to oversee.
And Richard, just to clarify, because everyone is asking, wondering,
Right.
President Trump doesn't have the authority on his own to shut down the Department of
That's
Education.
right. Really, only Congress has the power to eliminate an agency like the Department of Education. So it would be up to Congress to vote on it. And right now, it's not clear whether or not he would have the votes in Congress to get that done, even with all of his Republican support.
With the programs you're discussing, has the president indicated whether he plans to cut federal funding to those programs? Not just the department, the programs.
Well, right now, these funds have been approved by Congress, so he doesn't really have the power to cut them right now. So Pell Grants will be preserved, funding for low-income students, also for students with disabilities. That is going to be saved. At least that's what the administration is saying, but they might be distributed through a different agency. And I think a lot of the concern is the oversight for these funds when they're given to the states. Who's going to monitor that these funds are used properly?
Right.
A lot of
unanswered questions. Yeah,
Thanks so
we'll have to
much,
see.
Richard.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.